Okay, let me see. Okay. So I'm gonna start recording. So wait a second. Okay. Okay. So in today's class, we're gonna just use 30 minutes to finish up the bike rental, and then the rest of 1 hour or so just to do the practice. Okay, so you're gonna do the practice, and also for those people who didn't submit the right format, you can show me on your computer. I will give you credit on your Blackboard. Okay, so as I mentioned today early, because I let everybody submit homeworks and quizzes on limit times. So instead of only 20 students homework, I have to grade over 60 homeworks on the Blackboard. So my grading, it will be like process is very, it's not as fast as should be, because I have some people submit like quizzes like 3 or 4 times. Some people submit a code 3 or 4 times. Can you imagine? Instead of like you can see, instead of 18 people in this class, I receive over 60 submissions, so it will take time. But I promise you, I will just do as fast as possible. So if you haven't seen your grade yet, so you will see your grade. I hope maybe sometime in this week. I cannot promise because the homeworks keep coming. And the one thing is, some of you guys still give me the wrong format, as I mentioned to you. Now, when you give me the homework, you have to zip the whole folder. You cannot just zip the .sln file, or you can just, some people give me like 3 files together, not the only 3 files, 1 file. You're gonna have to give me zip the whole folder together and submit it. And also, I think because the one way try to create a new project, you have to choose, when you open the VB, you click File, click New Project. Now, under the Visual Basic, now you have Windows Form app.NET Framework. You have to choose this one. Okay, you're gonna have to make sure you choose this one. Now, if you run VB 2019, it looks different. Okay, so but you have multiple choices. They have Windows Form app and they have Windows Form .NET Framework. So you have to make sure you choose .framework. Okay, because sometimes just when I debug your code, I just couldn't run. And sometimes when I try to unzip your code, it says like something wrong with loading. I couldn't, there's nothing I can open, it's a 0 file content. So they have multiple errors on the submission. That is probably why people keep sending the files. So make sure you have the right format. Okay, make sure you have the right format, because sometimes just doesn't work. Okay, and also make sure when you give me the code, you do not contain form1.vb, because as you can see here, when I receive your homeworks, I have form1.vb. Okay, where's the mask? Oh, yes, and also yes. So the thing is, the first thing you do is to rename your VB files. Okay, VB files, and also this one, make sure you change the VB file name, because when I grade your case studies, a lot of case questions, and you just keep like form1.vb, and you don't change the title also. Okay, just keep in mind, you're gonna have to change form.text property. So generally speaking, as you can see, the VB is probably very easy language, because you first of all generate the user interface, and then based on the user interface, you have all these tool object, right? You can just modify the tool object properties and just to manipulate the whole project, right? I think one thing is, I don't know what happened to some of your code. When I open your files, I just couldn't find your user interface. But you can see here, generally speaking, if I click this .sln file, my user interface should be right here. But somehow some people user interface I just couldn't find. Okay, I think when you try to zip the file, something's wrong. And also don't give me the .rar file, because I just cannot open .rar. Okay, because I have to download WinRAR to unzip the .rar. But what happens after 30 days, the WinRAR just give me so many ads previously. So I just hate this WinRAR. I don't want to like just install the WinRAR just to zip the .rar file. Just hope you understand. Just there's too many ads if I download that. So I suggest you just the best way to zip or unzip, just use the system tool. Inside of Windows 10, Windows 11, you can just automatically have this system tool. Okay, now before we go over the coding, because the coding, majority coding we did already. So if you double click, you can see the coding right here. Okay, we're gonna do the frame of bike right here, because as you can see here, now this is what we did last time, right? And we have we introduce you the different data type, right? We introduce you, if you want convert from string to integers, you have to use this existing function from the library, right? Convert.int to int32, and we have this multiplication, right? Assignment statement. Okay, so this is like the very important one we did, because actually, if you look at the last page, the last page of this chapter, which is on page 214, page 214. You can see the whole code. We are having actually 4 small programs. We finished one of it, which is this one we finished already. So we're gonna do 2 more. Okay, we're gonna do 2 more. Okay, before we do anything, so first of all, we're gonna introduce you how to clear our content, which is I'm gonna show you right here. Okay, page 120. Okay, wait a second. Okay, I'm gonna the next part, the first thing we're going to learn in today's class is how do we clear the form. So after we type a number, like how many days, we can calculate the total cost. But that is not enough, because what if we want to enter our data again? So in order to enter our data again, we have to know how to clear the form. How to clear the form like this. Okay, as you can see here, how to clear the form. Wait a second. Okay, where's my cursor? So this is like if you click, we have how many buttons we have here, right here, in our you see here in our user interface, we have 3 buttons. If I have a button, then I should have a procedure towards it. So I have we did find cost calculation button, right? We have find cost. So next button we do will be clear. So now if I double click clear, I have this button clear. But what's inside of it? What is inside? How do we clear a form? So in order to do this, we're gonna understand. Okay, so we can see here, we can clear the text property of the text box object. Which you tried in the simple calculator program, right? .clear, by using just the xbox.clear. And the next one is, how do we clear the text property of the label object? Now, if you have a label object, you cannot use .clear. So instead of what we call .clear, we just assign the empty string to the label object text property. That is the one thing we have to consider. Then after we clear the button, the text box and also the label, which is corresponding to this one. Okay, this is the text box, and this is the label you're gonna clear. So you want to clear this too. The text box you use .clear, but this one, the label, you're gonna have to use, assign an empty string, Okay, that is. Then after that, you're gonna have to focus back on this button, I mean the text box. Okay, so you have 3 lines for this code. Okay, so I want you guys to, even, it's only 3 lines, but I want you to know the idea behind it. So first of all, if you have a text box, which, what is text box? To receive input from you, which is this one. So this is text box. So you can just do .clear on the text box. But this one is a label. You cannot use a clear. You have to just assign the empty string. So let's see here. The clear procedure clears any data in the text property of a text box object. So the general format of the clear procedure is this. Okay, so that is to clear the text box, which is a small empty box waiting for you to type data. Now, so when the clear procedure is executed, the text property is cleared of data. As with every procedure calls, the name of the procedure must be followed by parentheses. Okay, even though you don't have any parameter inside, but still you need to have parentheses. Just tell them it is a procedure. Yeah. Okay. The empty parenthesis means it's a procedure, because the procedure, some of procedures need input a parameter. Some of them don't need a parameter. So .clear don't need any parameter, but we still have the parenthesis to tell the program this is a procedure, or you can say this is a sub procedure or sub program. Now, but you can see that clear procedure cannot be used with a label object. Instead, to clear the text property of the label object, you must write a assignment statement that assign a null, which is empty string. Okay, just double quotation mark with nothing inside. That is empty string. That is the only way you clear the label. So you see here, the way you clear text box and the way you clear label are 2 different lines, because we cannot call clear procedure on the label. So the only way you do that is this. Okay, with an empty string. That is a clear procedure. After that, you have to set focus. So we did that. Some of you guys try to do this in the previous procedures. Okay, to set the focus, that's easy. Dot focus. There's a procedure called dot focus. Okay, so on this text box, we just call dot focus. That is how we do. Okay, that is it. That is 3 lines to clear. When you click the clear button, it will show. Okay, so we're gonna do that. Okay, we're gonna type these 3 lines right here. I know some of you guys already finished. But if you finish, don't worry. Just you can do it whatever you want. Okay. And also, by the way, some of you guys asked like the midterm due date. Midterm due date will be middle of March. I think March 15th. So you still have time to do. So you can choose the topic from the one I provided, or you can just use your own way. Doesn't matter. Okay. As long as you, yes, as long as you have, right, yes. So we're gonna type these 3 lines here, but we're gonna have to type the comment, comment right here. So now this event, so we just type, I'm just typing according to the page 214. So in the future, now if you have any issue with your code, so you always go to the last page of your chapter. So in the last page of chapter, there's the whole code for this. Okay. Yes, exactly. So we have spring break soon. Spring break is from March 7 to March 14. So which means after your spring break finish, you should give me the midterm project. Okay. So it's like that's why I said the midterm project will be due in the middle of March. Let's do that. I think I opened that last time, right? Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I just typed the wrong line. Exactly when the user clicks the clear button, it clears the number of days text box and the text property text property of the total cost label. Then it sets the focus on the text number of days text box object. Okay. So type this, a few minutes to type it. Okay, and also if you have any question, since we have 1 hour practice time, and if you have any question, just don't hesitate, just ask me. Okay. Okay, so now if you finish, we just have to type these 3 lines. Very easy 3 lines. Okay, so let's type the 3 line here. The first line is, okay, just keep empty here. Text number of days dot clear with this. Okay, so clear the text box. Okay, this line is clear the text box. Okay. Okay, so next one, we just type label total cost. So we have several labels right here. Label total cost dot text equal to empty string. So just this is the only way you clear a label. Assign the empty string there. Then last one is we set a focus text box number of days. This one dot focus back to this one. So which means after you do that, your cursor will stay in the text box. So we're gonna save it. If you want, we can run this to see whether it work or not. Okay. So just after I type 2, I click find, then I click clear. As you can see, it's clear out, and this cursor is waiting for us in this in this text box. Okay, because it is dot focus. Okay, so that means this procedure works. Now we're gonna go back to our VB. As you can see, we did find cost, dot clear and clear. The next one, the next button. So if how many button you have, then should how many procedure, then plus the whole forms procedure. So if I double click exit, okay, so you have to have this button clear exit. So this is the easiest one because all you do is close, right? Close procedure. But we're gonna add the comments here. The comments here is close the window and terminate the application. And you know, this only for the exit button. All the exit button are super easy because you only need to do one line. Which line? Close. That's the only thing you do. So which means if I do that, it will do this. Okay. So if I run this code, just this. Okay. We have after this, we have one last procedure. Is like, what if I run this program? When I load the this form, what will happen? Okay. So you see here, and if I run this code, as you can see, my label, the price label, will still be x.xx per day. Now, if your code has this, that means you miss one procedure. So the next procedure is when I call this program, instead of I display x.xx, I have to display the price, then per day. That's common thing. You know, whatever we display on our user interface is always, you know, this labels text property, which is always string type. Now here's come the thing. Okay. Not, you know, no matter what language you use, okay, doesn't matter, maybe or others. So all the programming language always have one idea called concatenation, which is means you combine two strings as one string. Okay, the only difference of concatenation among the high-level languages are the signs, the symbol they use. Now in our VBs, we use the ampersand to display. Okay, wait a second, let me try this to find close. Okay, that is working. So that means we are doing okay. The next thing we do is we're gonna add the form, but the form is also very easy, but instead of we'll go over, do the coding first, we're gonna introduce you concatenation. Concatenation means we put two lines together. In other languages, we use a plus sign. Okay, so always concatenation is like a operation overload. So in our, you know, our programming languages are from math, right? Because the whole idea, the logic idea is from mathematics. You know, we have plus, minus, all this signs. But sometimes when we can redefine the operation. So instead of just use this symbol to do one thing, we can use this symbol to do two things. Now here in this one, as you can see here, we want to combine the price with per day together, combine two strings together. Like for example, if you have your name, right? You have your first name, you have your last name, and you can combine first name, last name together as a whole name, right? That is like a string concatenation. Now, how do we make it happen? There's a sign called this sign, ampersand. Okay, so you will see the ampersand all the time because for different languages, it has different use, but always, okay, we always use this symbol, okay. Sometimes it means like the address of a variable. Sometimes means like some special parameter. But here in Visual Basic, it tells you we combine this and this together as a whole string. It's called string combination. Think about your first name, your last name combined together as your whole name. Okay. So we're basically, as you can see, this line. First of all, we have this constant number. Okay, C. Now the underline behind in front of the C means this is a constant number we can use in multiple procedures. So this underline means that we can use in multiple procedures because it is a global scope of your constant number, right? You declare at the beginning of your form, at the beginning of your code. So all the procedures inside of your program can use this because it's a constant number, right? As I mentioned, I think last Wednesday I mentioned Now it is very important to avoid this for the regular variable, because for the regular variables, everybody can modify the value, which is not safe, because sometimes I don't want my value to be modified in certain procedure. That is why when you have regular variables, you want to keep it local, which means you want to declare in the local procedure. But if it's a constant number, which start with C, okay, that means your value is fixed. So if I declare as CONST this, that means this value is fixed. So every time when you declare a constant number, you have to assign value right away. Okay, not only for VB, but also for other languages. You always do the same thing. Okay, when you declare a constant number, you assign value right away. So once the value fixed, you cannot modify anymore. So that is why you can declare the constant number at the beginning of the function to make it a global variable. So anyway, so you can see here we call dot toString. So this is not the first time we see toString. ToString means what? You convert from integers or from a number to a string, and we have different format C. Now if I look back to the previous form, I see as on page 189. If I look at the page 189, okay, one more. Okay, if I look at page 189, as you can see here, a toString function has different parameters. If I have a G, double quotation G, that means the general format. If I have a C, that means currency, okay, with dollar sign. If I have a F, it's a fixed value, which is 2-digit decimal behind, okay. And if I have an N, which is just a number with 1,000 separator, okay. So we use different parameters inside of toString procedure to convert a string to a special, convert a number to a special string. Okay, so you get the idea. So this toString C means to convert to the currency with dollar sign, because in the end, you want to have a dollar sign right here. That is why you have toString. Okay, then per day. So basically, when you try to run the code, run the form, you want this line, instead of x.xx, you want to display the price. The price is this constant value, okay? And also you want to clear the total cost. You don't want to have 88888, because actually the 888, it's a kind of placeholder to tell you how many you can display, right? And also you can set the focus back to here. So generally speaking, now if I want to load this, if I click start button, I want to load this form. In order to load this form, we will do 3 things. Do the string concatenations in this label, and clear the total cost label right here, and also set a focus here. That is the thing we do. Okay, so we can double click the frame. Okay, on this user interface, we double click on this frame. So we have this. Okay, you can see it's a little bit different, but it's frame form back. So we double click the comment part. So it tells you this event handler is executed when the form is loaded. It displays the cost heading, clears the text property of the I forgot the comma. The total.
What did you click on to get to there?
Oh, I just move my cursor to the in front of this. I click the comma. I click the apostrophe. Oh, double click the form. Okay, double click the form. You should have form by load. Okay. Now in the book it says like the form digital download. You don't have to do that. Okay. Just this one. Okay. So we have this total cost label. Let's share my screen in yes. Total cost label. And set the focus on the text number of days text box objects. So 16 people here, but you know, even though I have 16 people here, 2 people from my online class, so which means only 14 people show up. Okay, so we have this. So we're gonna do this. The first thing we do is we do the string concatenation is label total cost, but not total cost, not total cost, label cost heading. Okay. Dot text, which is this one. Okay, which is this one. This is text heading. What's this one? This one is cost heading. Yes. So label cost heading dot text is equal to. Now we have this global things. Okay. C price dot toString, then with C inside currency. You want to have a currency. After that, you want to do the string concatenation, ampersand with this string per day. So the string always in the double quotation mark. Click enter. Now keep in mind here is this one underline means like this whole this number can be used in every procedure. And also in the book it tells you. Now if your line is very long and you have to move your line to the next line, then you can use the underline right behind, tell you whatever behind it is the same line. Okay, it is also very common. As you can see, you can do this. That is, this underline means whatever behind still belongs to this line. Just when you don't have enough space for one line. Okay, if your line is way too long, then use underline to make it display in 2 lines. Otherwise, you don't need. Okay, if I like the previous one, if I already have enough, if I have enough space, definitely you don't need this underline. The underline can let you display, type different lines in as one single statement. Okay. Then after we have that, we're gonna clear the total cost label, just same as we do this. Okay. So if you want, you can just copy and paste these 2 lines right here. Now, if you want, you can go to this line 34 and 35 and copy and paste because you do the same thing. Clear the label and set up focus back to the text box. Okay. So I can just Control C here and put Control V right here because it's exactly the same thing. Okay, clear the label and also set up the focus back to the text box. When you set up focus, just your cursor will stay there waiting for you to get input. And that's it. That is its whole thing about this procedure. Now we finish. Okay, so what we learned this this program is, first of all, how do we define different type of variable? Okay, that is very important. Okay, you have to have this different variable. Without define variables, your code will be like maybe disorganized, or it's hard for you to do certain calculation. So you always have declare different type, like variable dimension, DIM variable dimension, because different data type store different number of bytes, right? Some data type occupy 8 bytes, some of them occupy 4 bytes, some occupy 16 bytes, some occupy 12 bytes. You know, they have different way to store in the memory. So you can think like the memory variable dimension as a string, as integer, as a decimal, right? And we have those. We have toInt, convert integer to integer, convert string to integer, and we can convert numbers to string, right? And we can do the assignment statement. Right now it's multiplication, and here we have dot clear the text box, and we know clear cannot run on the label. So when you clear a label, you assign a null string or empty string, right? Null string or an empty string, and not focus. So if I run the code, let's see here. As you can see, the window is open right here. So instead of x.xx, it says 9.95. And see here, label disappear right here. And the cursor is waiting for you because of dot focus. Okay, so you can see that is what you have. That is what happened when you have form byte procedure. Okay, form byte procedure basically do 3 things. Okay, clear the total cost label, set focus on the text box, and also set up the cost heading as the price per day. And we learn string concatenation. We can combine 2 strings as 1 string. As you can see, that is very easy. Any questions so far? Now, if you don't have question, you know, the rest of 1 hour, you're gonna do the hands-on work, you know, pick up any case from chapter 4, which is, the first one is what? Let's see. Airbnb. Okay. The second one is national housing tour. The third one is the Uber car. The fourth one is calculator. Fifth one is ice skating, and also fitness tracker app. Okay, so I'm gonna stop right here. If you have any question, let me know.